Hello everybody, it's me, Ben Maiden, and I'm here today with the latest edition of Entertainment Zone. And today I'm going to be reviewing Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. It's the latest installment in the Harry Potter series, and it's based on the 6th book, which just so happened to be my favourite book of the series. Now, in this edition of Entertainment Zone, I'm going to be reviewing the film. However, that will mean there is going to be spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled, then stop watching now and go and see the movie, and then come back and watch this once you've seen it. You have been warned. So let's get on with the review. Now, the first thing I want to do is just discuss the actors who really stood out for me in this film. First up was Helena Bonham Carter as Bellatrix Lestrange. Now, I think that Helena has done a marvellous job of portraying this character. She was awesome in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, and I think that she's even better in this film. You know, she really plays the psychopathic Death Eater very, very well, and you know, I just love Helena in this role, and I think she was born to play it, and she really is just awesome. Well done to Helena. Next up is Tom Felton, who I have to give a mega thumbs up to, as I think his portrayal of Draco Malfoy was fantastic in this film. Now, I have to admit, Malfoy is a character who I've not really ever cared for before now, but his portrayal of him in this film is fantastic. You know, Tom hit every emotion that he was meant to do as the character, and you know, he just portrayed him so well. You know, he can play him trying to be evil and, you know, really upset and distraught, and I just think that he was very well played, the character Malfoy, in this film. And you know, Tom Felton, I think, has really proved himself now to me as an actor, and I think he did a fantastic job. So, as I said, a mega thumbs up there for Tom. And then, of course, there is the legendary Michael Gambon as my favourite character, Albus Dumbledore. Now, I always said that Richard Harris was my favourite Dumbledore, but you know, as the films have got darker, I think Michael Gambon has really proven himself as Dumbledore, and you know, the way he does it is just so good, you know, and I kind of think to myself, well, actually, you know, Richard Harris as Dumbledore, you know, probably wouldn't have had the same effect, you know, God bless him, you know, passing away and everything, but Michael Gambon has really brought the role to life, and I think he's done an excellent job. And you know, his portrayal of Dumbledore in this film is fantastic. You know, we have you know, some funny scenes, such as him asking Horace Slughorn for the knitting magazine, and then of course there's really moving scenes, such as when he's drinking the liquid in the cave and begging Harry to kill him. You know, that was heartbreaking stuff, man. And then of course there is his death scene, which was very moving and very well acted. And you know, yes, it was in slow motion, but I thought it worked very well, and the acting in the scene was top notch from him, Michael Gambon, and of course from Alan Rickman as Snape and Tom Felton as Draco. Now, joining the cast in this film is another British actor. This time it's Jim Broadbent as Professor Horace Slughorn. Now, the way he played Slughorn I thought was good, but you know, visually, appearance-wise, he's not kind of how I imagine him to be. I thought he would be a larger man and that he would have his famous moustache, but alas, he didn't. I thought Jim was good in the role, but I wouldn't say he was one of the most outstanding performances in the film. So that was, for me, a good addition, but you know, it wasn't the best. You know, one of my friends, shout out to you, Rihanna, said, you know, to me that she felt it was Jim Broadbent as Jim Broadbent rather than as Slughorn, and I can kind of see where she's coming from there with that. However, you know, he is a good addition to the cast, and he has some comedy moments, but he also has some very good and well acted moments, you know, such as the memory scenes, which features the young Tom Riddle played by Ralph Fiennes' nephew, keeping it in the family there, but he is also very creepy and, you know, did a good job of young Tom Riddle. And, you know, but yeah, Jim has some really good scenes in the film too, so I'm not going to knock him. So yeah, a welcome addition to the cast, I'll put it at that. Now there are, you know, obviously scenes that aren't in the film that were in the book. And the one I was most gutted not to see, but I already knew this was going to be the case, was Dumbledore's funeral. Was very moving in the book. There's rumours that it might be at the beginning of Deathly Hallows, which I hope is true, but if not, never mind, you know. What they did with the whole raising of the wands was cool and, you know, kind of effective, but, you know, as a fan of the funeral scene, I was sad to see it go. Also, the Harper Prince storyline was not delved into very much, you know. Only at the end does Snape choose to reveal himself as the Half-Blood Prince, you know, and he doesn't like tell Harry why he's the Half-Blood Prince, you know, so that's kind of left out. And, you know, a 2.5 hour film, I can understand why it might not have been focused on as much, but I can't help but feel that it could have maybe been, like, slipped in more. You know, there is a lot of romance in this film, such as Ron and Lavender, Ron and Hermione, and of course Harry and Ginny. And don't get me wrong, those scenes were good, and there's a lot of funny scenes in there, such as the love scenes between Ron and Lavender. But, you know, maybe the Harper Prince storyline could have been seeped into some of those places as well. But there are also additional scenes that weren't in the books, which some fans are outraged by. You know, if J.K. didn't write it, why is it in the film? But I did feel they were effective. One was the attack on the burrow scene, which I thought was a good addition, really, because it showed just how evil the Death Eaters are and what power, you know, people like Voldemort and Bellatrix Lestrange have. So, you know, I was happy to see that scene. And, you know, the film opened with the attack on London, rather than opening on Rufus Scrimgeour talking to the British Prime Minister, which I don't think would have been as effective as an opening on a film, you know. And, you know, the attack is briefly mentioned in the book by Scrimgeour, so, you know, I don't see the big fuss people are making about it. And again, it shows the power of the Death Eaters. Scrimgeour wasn't in this film, which is a bit lame. However, he is going to be in Deathly Hallows, played by the fantastic Bill Nighy. Don't know how I feel about Deathly Hallows being split in two. A part of me can understand it when they say they wanted to get everything in for this last one, but a part of me also feels like, oh well, if they were that bothered, why didn't they do that with previous films, or make previous films a bit longer, and that it is actually just a way of making more money. But we'll have to just wait and see. You know, my opinion might change on that. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. On the whole, I did enjoy the film. I thought it was really good, and I thought it was a very faithful adaptation. And for me, it really is up there with Prisoner of Azkaban as one of the best adaptations from the books. And I did like it. And all I'd say is, if you're thinking of going to see it, but you're not sure whether to, and despite the fact that you've just watched this video with all the spoilers, but yeah, if you're thinking of going to see it and people saying to you, oh, it's rubbish, don't waste your time and stuff, well, I disagree. I think it is worth the time to just go and check it out. It's a good film, and I really enjoyed it, and unless you're one of these hardcore fans who really despises things like being cut or changed, you know, then there's no reason not to like it as a fan of the book either. But yeah, for me, I really enjoyed it, and I think it was a very good installment, and it's actually left me waiting, you know, in anticipation for the Deathly Hallows films. And, you know, Goblet of Fire was an okay film, Order of the Phoenix was terrible, just like the book. But, you know, Half-Blood Prince has really raised the bar again now, and it's brought this film series back up to a really good level, which is only got to be a good thing, you know. So, yeah, as I say, it is worth checking it out, and because it is a good film. If you have seen the film, Be sure to leave a comment to let me know what you thought, as I'd be really interested. And for all the latest editions of Entertainment Zone, where I'll be talking about movies, games, music, TV shows, anything entertainment-wise, whether it be news, reviews, or just general gossip and updates, then be sure to subscribe. And until next time, it's bye-bye from me.